What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. So I have a couple of videos coming out today. One of them is going to be the deck profile for Raidraptors, and obviously now you're watching the step-by-step combo tutorial. I make these videos for people who are new to the archetype because I feel like whenever I look up new archetypes on YouTube and I see combo tutorials, it goes so fast I never have any idea what's going on. So I actually made this series just to kind of slow it down. I literally explain what every single card does so nothing goes over your head. In a way, it's a good introduction. Or if there's a lot of new cards that come out for an archetype, again, it's just slowed down for you. You can know what the cards do, and you have a better understanding of how the cards work in general. I've done some step-by-step combo tutorials for Raidraptors before, but I thought I would do this again considering there is like a new step for what I do completely. So if you've been watching my lineage videos, this will be a good one for you to watch too. Or you've never seen Raidraptors before and you want to find out what they do, here you go. I'm going to start off with the bread and butter kind of 2-card combo of Raidraptors. This used to equal Zexal and a whole bunch of other things, but now the deck is a little modified, but still just as powerful because of some really good link monsters that this deck can take advantage of. So the first thing we're going to do here is normal summon the Vanishing Lanius. This card says during your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can special summon one Raidraptor or one level 4 or lower Raidraptor monster from your hand. In my deck, I pretty much only run Raidraptor monsters. I know there's a lot of different play starters, but considering they have so much synergy together, I like to keep it in-house, and that's what I did for this combo too. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and special summon this Mimicry Lanius. This is one of the most important cards in the deck. It literally lets you add any Raidraptor card from your deck to your hand by banishing it from the graveyard, which obviously is very, very cool. Alright, you're going to go ahead and overlay these two to Raidraptor Force Strix. This just requires any 2 level 4 monsters, interestingly enough. And the first effect is not important. It says once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, add one level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck to your hand. Pretty darn generic, honestly, but we will be using it for Raidraptor monsters in our case. Alright, so you're going to detach to use this effect in Mimicry Lanius. Make sure you do that or your plays are over. Although, in this case, you only have 2 cards, so you may have had another extender, but, just for your mind, 99 or 100% of the time, you always want to detach the Mimicry so that you can use the effect. You never know if this is going to get ashed or something and you really need to use this effect. But anyways, so now we can go ahead and actually banish that from the graveyard, like I said, and search any Raidraptor card. So we're going to add Raidraptor Nest. If you control 2 or more Raidraptor monsters, you can add 1 Raidraptor monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Pretty interesting, actually. And the card that we searched out was this Raidraptor Singing Lanius. This is a free special summon. All you have to do is control a face-up XYZ monster. It can be any XYZ monster too. Alright, so since we control that, we're going to go ahead and special summon it. Now we can meet the conditions of Nest because we have 2 or more Raidraptor monsters. And now we're going to go ahead and search. And to our hand, we're going to go ahead and add a Heal Eagle. This card says if all monsters you control are Raidraptor monsters, at least one, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's pretty cool. It also says you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Raidraptor spell or trap in your graveyard, add it to your hand. That's not so important. We just need it for the free special summon. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now this is like the critical board state of any Raidraptor board. If you get to this point, you're good to go. So what you need is 3 Raidraptor monsters, and just one of them has to be level 4. As long as you can get that in your head, you're basically an expert Raidraptor player. You're going to convert the 2 that are not level 4s and go into the Y-Strix. So in our case, that was Heal Eagle and the Force Strix. This card, Y-Strix, is absolutely amazing. It says if this card is Link Summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster from your deck in defense position, but negate its effects. Also, it cannot be used as Link material. If your Raidraptor XYZ monster effect is activated, set 1 rank up magic spell directly from your deck, and if it is a quick play spell, it can be activated this turn, which is actually an insane kind of touch. Doesn't really have to do that, but it does. Although even in our case, it won't matter. Alright, so from the deck, you're going to go ahead and special summon this Zephyros the Elite. I used to have a Blackwing package and actually search Borrow the Spear or something like that, I think it's called. But that's actually out of the deck now. 1 less brick because there is a new extender in Raidraptors that came out pretty recently that is even better. Alright, so we're going to go once again into Force Strix. This is not a once per turn, so we can go ahead and detach material. This time we can detach the Zephyros, although it's less important because these 2 are about to go to the graveyard briefly, and add to our hand a Strangle Lanius, thus activating the effect of Y-Strix since we activated a Raidraptor XYZ monster, And from the deck, we're going to go ahead and set a Rank Up Magic Soul Shape Force. This card says you can pay half your life points, then target one Raidraptor XYZ monster in your graveyard, special summon it, then special summon from your extra deck one XYZ monster that is 2 ranks higher than that monster by using it as the XYZ material. Very unique only. I mean, I love this game mechanic, so that's why I like the deck so much. Anyways, you're going to convert those two, being the Force Strix and the Y Strix, and go into Rusty Bardige, which was off the ban list not too long ago. Since we have that Raidraptor monster in the graveyard now, although I guess there was one earlier too, we can go ahead and target that, paying half our life points, going into a rank 4, and now we're allowed to go into a rank 6. And what rank 6 are we going to use? Of course, we're going to be going into an Omni Negate. That is Cyber Dragon Infinity. We can just skip right over to it. Alright, so now our Omni Negate is online. If they've been holding on to some hand trap for some glorious reason, well, it's too late for them now because we have the answer. Alright, so we can use the effect of Zephyros from the graveyard. This card says you can return one face-up card you control to the hand to special summon this card, then we take 400 points of damage. Life points are nothing but a resource in this deck. Now we can use the effect of Rusty Bardige. This card says you can send the Phantom Knights monster from your deck to the graveyard, then set one Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from your deck to your spell and trap zone. Well, that's really cool because we can send the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. This card says you can banish this card from your graveyard, add one the Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand, except a copy of itself, which we will use in a second. But first, we also get to set that Phantom Knight spell and trap. So we're going to grab a Fog Blade, which is not an issue because, it targets it and you can't attack it, but we have so many different ways. We have ways to pop the card that we're targeting with Rusty Bardige, or, you can use Cyber Dragon Infinity's effect to just, add it as material. Alright, like I said, we can banish that card and add to our hand the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. This card says if you control a Phantom Knights monster, which we do, of course, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon the Phantom Knights of Silent Boots once per turn this way. Then you can manage this card from your graveyard, add one Phantom Knight spell and trap from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect of this card once per turn. Well, what do you know? We're going to go ahead and use that effect to special summon this card. Then, since we have two effect monsters, we can easily go into Predaplant Verde and Anaconda. And now we can use the effect of Raidraptor Strangle Lanius. This card says if you control a dark monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except dark monsters, which of course is no issue. All we need is dark monsters on the field. It is a very good archetype of cards, as you might imagine. Alright, now we can use its second effect. It only gets better from here. So, if you control an XYZ monster with Dark XYZ monster as material, which of course we do here, you can special summon one level 4 lower Raidraptor monster in your graveyard, but its effects are negated, which of course we do not care about. So, from the beginning of the turn, we're going to go ahead and grab this Vanishing Lanius. Now we can overlay these two 4s and go into a Dark Rebellion XYZ. Last, we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of Silent Boots, I guess not last at all, and add a Phantom Knight spell and trap to our hand. That's going to be Phantom Knight's Rank Up Magic Force. So this card says you can banish one or more dark monsters from your graveyard, then target one dark XYZ monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one the Phantom Knights, Raidraptor, or XYZ monster, whose rank equals that of the targeted monster you control, plus the number of monsters banished by using it as material. Pretty cool, right? And it's obviously a quick play spell, so we'll be using it during our opponent's turn. And then we can set that card, activate the effect of Predaplant Verde and Anaconda to send a Red Eyes Fusion, Red Eyes Fusion's effect. So we're going to go into a Dragoon of Red Eyes. Alright, so all in all, what does this board mean? Well, this is an Omni Negate, and this is an Omni Negate. This is a, negate a monster's effect, and also it cannot attack, which is pretty neat, I suppose. And we also have this Rank Up Magic Force, primed here for this Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, which then turns into either a Satellite Cannon Falcon. So let's say they try to activate, Pot of Duality, and then, maybe another Pot of card, and then they set 4 in the back row. So instead of just running and gunning into Dark Requiem, which is just a bunch of monster negates, you can just go into Satellite Cannon Falcon. They cannot, respond by spells and traps, and then you've just blown up their entire backboard. So this is a very flexible board. This is probably going to win you a lot of duels, these 3 alone, but the fact that whatever monster you go into, it's going to pop a card with Rusty Bardige, and then either be 3 monster negates or a complete, Harpie's Feather Duster, which is amazing. that's what this board represents. I wanted to do an in-depth analysis of that. That way you guys can kind of check out what's going on in case you didn't understand or if it was too fast in the gameplay video. But other than that, that's going to do it for this video. The deck profile will be out in just 3 hours, and I'll see you guys next time.